2.
Hello both, Adam and Alex. So we will just, as always, start with a quick review of Game Week 11, which was back to a green arrow for us, which was nice. It started off even better. I think we were back into the top 100k after the first few matches, but went down a bit then, but still a good 80k increase, so 122k now. Starting at the back, Raya, bit of a hero. So that's the second clean sheet in 3 games for us, but not just that, but he gets the bonus as well and the saves. So that's nice. Any time you get a double figure haul from your goalkeeper, that's to be celebrated. And then Trippier there just keeps doing the business. I mean, he's unbelievably consistent now, whether it's assisting or a clean sheet. This time it was a clean sheet, and then Johnny, one of our budget enablers, but a nice sort of differential pick a few weeks ago. He's coming good. Right, we'll get to Maddison in a minute. Zaha useless, Trossard useless, De Bruyne, yeah, but yeah, the Maddison last second yellow card just dives for a penalty, and now he's suspended. So that was what every Maddison owner's fear was going to be. We thought we got through the entire match without that happening, and then right at the death there. So that's something we'll come to in a bit. Mitrovic and Tony, you can't fault them. Great value for their price. Especially getting a brace from Tony, and then Mitrovic, and obviously that's punished a lot of either benchers or sellers, because there was still some doubt over his participation in Game Week 11. But we know that he's so important to Fulham, and Marcus Silva will play him whenever possible. So that's the result. And then a rare blank for Erling Haaland. So I'm not really that bothered about that, because every man and his dog captained Haaland. So what are we losing from that? Nothing really. Bit frustrating to see more bench points. Andreas is just that classic bench player that just gets the points. It reminds me of the players of that in the past few seasons. There's always a budget midfielder that does that to you. And then Guehi, who is our signing, coming in with a nice 7 points, but unused. I mean, we were never going to play those players. I don't really think so. Can't beat ourselves up about it too much.
Yeah, the only one we were considering was Andreas for Mitrovic.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we'd have lost out if we'd have done that. So, no harm done. And we've only lost 1 point on Guehi instead of Johnny. So, not an issue. Net profit.
And both those bench players will, at the moment anyway, are featuring in our Game Week 12 lineup. So, obviously, the big matter to consider here is the fact that Arsenal and Man City are blanking. So that's why we've got those 3 on the bench there, and we've also got the James Madden suspension. So we've talked now for a few weeks in the last few calls that probably, well, at least I was saying this. I don't know whether you'd agreed or not, but like the De Bruyne to SALAH or Son was the move for Game Week 12, because mainly for captaincy, but also those are the players that can score the big points. Now we've seen Mo return to some semblance of form. Well, actually, it probably does him a disservice. He was outstanding against City, and then he, of course, scored a 6-minute hat trick in the Champions League before that. So it's whether or not he's back to his absolute best, it's probably too early to say. But he's scoring goals again, and he'll be the most popular captain, probably him or Harry Kane, I suppose, for Game Week 12. So I would still probably favour that as a move. We've got Maddison there. We've already got a squad, so we don't need to make 2 transfers. We don't need to make a hit. The reason we planned for this and did our transfers accordingly in recent game weeks is so that we didn't have to take hits. But I suppose there is maybe a temptation to do that, given that. But Maddison's not playing this game. But then who do you go to? I suppose there's Bowen. We've already got Trossard. A lot of people are bringing in Trossard this week, even though he's been very uninspiring for us. But it's because of that Nottingham Forest fixture. There's a few other players performing as well, I suppose, in that bracket. But whether it's worth a transfer is, I don't know. I'll leave that to you now, because I've spoken for about 10 minutes straight, it feels like.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Let's have a look there. What are Maddison's fixtures post Leeds? Are they still quite good fixtures, aren't they, after post Leeds at home? Leeds at home is an attractive fixture. Wolves, I take that back. Wolves away, hard defence. And Man City at home, Everton away. So that's 3 decent defences there. Won't be easy. And then West Ham away before the break. A lot of away games there. So Maddison doesn't have the easiest run of fixtures. The big thing is he's 10.3. How much money do we have to play with here? That
He's
is what we need to look at.
He's 8.3. But you mean
8.3, yeah. So how much do we have? How much cash have we got to play with?
Well,
2.5.
10.8. 10.6, sorry.
10.6. I'm guessing we're just off Son. But if we have a look, I'm guessing we've just got enough for Son.
We're quite far off. He's 12, isn't he?
Quite far off.
11.8.
Thinking of past seasons. Shame.
So yes, no, I did think that that would be really nice to get both of them, but that would actually require a -8. We'd probably end up downgrading elsewhere. So yeah. Other than that, Sterling was Sterling, but he's not really doing the business at the moment, is he? We could afford Sterling.
This is where I expect Adam to step in after his recent week with another Chelsea midfielder suggestion. Go on, Adam.
I'm not suggesting Mason Mount, although that was a. I mean, you're speaking to someone who's now in the top 10k in the world, if we only count last week. So
it's an achievement.
It is an achievement. I can't believe it. I don't think that ever happened to you before. Yeah. But I have what I think good suggestion, and that is to transfer Maddison out for Philip Billing.
Philip Billing?
Yeah.
Why? You got to justify that.
As I can see right here, well, I've just come off the page 1, 2.
I know he's doing well.
Four attacking returns in his last 5. He's now essentially playing off Solanke up front. It's at home to Southampton, a local rival, and they've got some good fixtures coming up.
Oh, they do have good fixtures coming up.
That then gives us lots of money to spend elsewhere next week.
Oh my goodness. He is doing well. I'll give you that.
He's essentially a second striker.
Returns there.
Yeah, no, he is playing along, I think it's like a 4-4-2, isn't it? But I mean, like,
say what you really think, Tristan. Come on, say what you really think. Don't shirk away now.
2 bonus point matches as well, recent as well. So he's scored a fair amount of points over the last 5.
Yeah, so obviously this is an outlier when you compare into previous seasons. Now, the positional change is certainly helps a little bit, but 1 goal, 1 assist last year, 2 goals the year before. None the year before. So he's doing stuff that he doesn't usually do. It would surprise me if he maintains this. I mean, he's not. I think he's going for a purple patch, and yes, if he maintains it, then that's good. What I think the decision we have to make is it 4. He has to get 4 more points than who we'd play instead of him, because we're taking a -4 for it.
Well, that'd be easier for Maddison, because Maddison won't be playing.
No, but we can. I think the point is, if we
got his heart set on taking out a Man City player, like preferably De Bruyne, for a big name like a Salah. So let me just So, Adam, are you saying don't bring Salah in, just do the Billing transfer?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So you think Philip Billing could get more points? It's basically, so it's not about the 4 point. It's about Philip Billing outscore Mo Salah? Well, if Darwin Núñez has anything to do with it, yes, he will. Because Darwin Núñez is greedy and should, like, if that's Sadio Mane, he's putting it on a plate for Salah. Darwin Núñez, eyes down on the ball. I'm not looking up. No, that's not good enough. And it makes you think, innit, when you watch Liverpool, why is Mo Salah not getting more attacking returns? Wow, you see stuff like that.
In team-wise, whether you want De Bruyne out for Salah and for the foreseeable, in which case what I'm saying doesn't matter. But if you're not sure and you want to give it 1 more week, this is a good free option, I think. And it also gives us plenty more money next week to potentially move someone else for Salah or something.
Well, we could do something like Mitrovic to Kane if we did that. If we had enough, we might even have enough to do something like that.
Because you'll probably want him in for Forest away, won't you? I get that. But if at West Ham, if he blanks at West Ham,
those are some very nice fixtures. Those are some very nice fixtures. And now it all comes together why Tristan has the eyes as if to say, I'm putting my foot down on this. You are not getting your way here.
Well, no, this isn't a dictatorship, but
I brought in Salah for De Bruyne this week, but I just wanted to put in a curveball. I think no one's. I think he's. I keep watching the Bournemouth matches, thinking like, why is Billing there? And then he scores.
Yeah. Why is he playing so far back? I've not watched. I make a confession yet. I've not. It's terrible for a podcast. I've not watched any Bournemouth, so I really,
You
really
might have done and just
have
forgotten.
no idea. I've not got an eye test on anyone. I've not
Well,
watched him peripherally.
Solanke's doing well at the moment, but
Yeah, but there's not enough room, is there, for Solanke?
I think that the problem with this is that not having Salah, you're not having the main captain this week. So if he does anything, it's not great. If who would be captain? If we put Billing in and not Salah, there's no one I'd really.
Trossard probably.
Yeah, probably is Trossard, but like, are you hanging your hat on Leandro Trossard, who's not?
Do you know what? This is it though. This is the Haaland effect. This is literally it. We think of the premiums, and gone are the days where you think about captaining, a good player from those mid-table teams that have a good home fixture. Do you want to know something? I had the captaincy for about 4 days on Ivan Toney this week coming up. Of course, I bottled it and ended up putting it on Haaland. Of course, I did. But if we held our nerve and actually did something like that, it might just pay off.
Yeah, but the thing with that is that yes, you could say that about any of these mid-price players. Like Maddison, when he got 18 points, but like that happens very infrequently for these players. Whereas Mo Salah, okay, not so much this season, but generally more reliable. Haaland returns every game except for one. If you get it on the right week, but it's just the percentages are so small of doing that you're just running the risk, aren't you?
Okay.
I think
one more thing that should be mentioned. One more thing that should quickly be mentioned is Diogo Jota injured.
Yes, well, he did pick up an injury. Klopp hasn't had a press conference yet, so I would assume he's out. To be honest,
that's very important because Salah is far more dangerous when Jota's on the pitch. Far more dangerous.
Yeah, but I mean, look at his goal against City. That was nothing to do with Jota. Like he's still doing stuff.
No, it wasn't. But his Rangers hat trick was. It was everything to do with Jota. 3 assists.
Yeah, but he's had years of doing it without Jota as well. Like that's just recency bias, I think. Like that was the Champions League game, and I think did they both come off the bench? Actually, I can't remember, but
they did. They both came off the bench.
But often, I don't know. It seems a weird thing when subs combine when they both come on at the same time. Like they like assist each other. Anyway, I take your point, but I think if you look at Mo Salah's general play, he's a lot more confident now.
Fair enough.
And look, I'm boring, so that's what I do. You know that.
Okay. What Spurs' is fixture?
Man United
away,
which is not dark red.
We were considering Son over Salah. No.
Well, this is before. This is like when Son was, he scored that hat trick. Salah was still doing absolutely nothing. It changes week to week, doesn't it?
Like I like Chelsea. I like Chelsea away at Brentford.
We haven't spelled it out, but Adam was it 86 points this week. So Mason Mount was a 15-point haul, and I've been thinking about him a lot. He's looked very good even before he started. Getting
wasn't there like a little interview with Potter before that? He said he's doing well, but he just needs to add goals. Or Mount said that. Someone questioned him. He's like, "You're doing well, but you've not got enough goals and assists, etc." And he said, "Yeah, I know. I'm well aware I've not got enough goals, and that's what I want to do."
Yeah, that's when I brought him in.
What I will say about Graham Potter is he's becoming very frustrating for FPL managers. There's now a new term, so it was Pep Roulette, and now it's Potter.
He does love a rotation. It was the same at Brighton, though, wasn't it? I'm doing previews. He loves rotating, doesn't he?
But Mount's versatility kind of makes him the most likely to start in the midfield anyway. He's he
does have his favourites. That's the one thing about Potter. He does have a few favourites. Like Trossard used to always play. He might be playing at flipping left back, but he always used to play like Trossard. So
I'm scarred though because I brought Koulibaly into my team and he didn't even start, and then came on.
I know someone else that had Koulibaly, and I think he had someone else as well. I think he had Koulibaly and Cucurella.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Koulibaly came off the bench and then probably got booked for just a 0 point. I mean, that's just the stuff of nightmares. No. I think he's got to play Mount at the moment, even though it's a midweek game and short turnaround. I'm more enthused by Mount than Billing, I've got to be honest, but I'm still having a hard time. For me, that would be as well as Salah rather than instead of Salah.
Yeah.
And then with bench, it's probably Necker Williams.
We'll bench Williams. Yeah, we'll bench Williams. We'll have Guay and Johnny and Trippier.
Yeah. I could maybe be on. I don't know what you think, Alex. Is it worth the hit Well, first of all, are you down with the Salah? Like, are you nailed on with the
If
Salah?
we wanted the premium in, Salah is the man to bring in. What are Man City's fixtures coming? Man City have got good games as well. I loathe not having De Bruyne because I think he's just the season keeper.
Yeah, but I'd always
Yeah,
rather have Salah than De Bruyne.
See, I'm the opposite. I've got both, but if I had to pick one, I would pick De Bruyne. De Bruyne is he's frustrating with the roulette, but Man City are all but through in the Champions. I do think he'll play against Dortmund when that comes, but he's almost like through in terms of the Champions League. So I think he might get a rest at some point. He's got a rest, obviously, this midweek run of games, which will be helpful. So he's going to start against Brighton at home, you would imagine. So it's a hard one. It's a hard one because obviously if we go for Salah over, we will not have De Bruyne for Brighton at home, which he will almost certainly play because he's having a rest this midweek. That's worrying. Now we could do, if you get rid of Cancelo a minute, we could do a Maddison to Billing, and then we'd have money. I don't know if we'd have enough money to do something like Zaha to Salah or Trossard to Salah. I've got no idea if we'd have enough to do that. That might be one to just check. So if we were to do Maddison to Billing.
As in, like, I mean, that could even be next week.
Yeah, Maddison to Billing. Let's just say this week for argument's sake, whatever. Yeah, and then do we have enough to go to Zaha to Brighton? I don't think we do. I think we're just off. Yeah,
no,
it's like 12.7, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, we can't quite. I like the thought of having both. It's there's nowhere else you'd really cut money either. I mean, Tony and Mitrovic are just still scoring, so. I'm not too fussed about Kane, honestly, because like he's just getting the same as Tony or Mitrovic, really.
He is. Tony, if you've got Ivan Tony, Kane is not hurting you, is he?
No,
you're in a decent position, thankfully. It's a tough one because whoever we don't have on game week 13 is going to punish us within Salah and De Bruyne. So do we think this is what it's going to come down to, right, guys? This is what it's going to come down to. Who do we think are going to get the most returns in these next game weeks between this pair? Just Salah, and then Salah just Salah. I think over two, or then it would be. I've gone completely off a tangent with this. I apologize. Or then would it be like? Would we not? We do Maddison to Billing, and then we've got De Bruyne for the next game. So do we think Salah or De Bruyne are going to get more points in game week 13?
It's just who's going to get more points.
Yeah, I had to divert because I realised I'd had a shocker, so I had to divert that to quickly backtrack. Sorry.
In game week 13, not even the next two. Well, anyone playing Forest right now is having a field day, so I'd still say. I mean, I know you probably still rate Dean Henderson, Alex, as an asset.
I've still got him. I don't know why I've still got him, but I have. Do you know what though, Adam? You go on about goalkeepers. Dean Henderson did an interview on Saturday, and his words, etc., were pathetic. That he's conceded something like 7 outside the box. So he's well aware that he needs to start keeping more clean sheets. If he
well, yeah, I think we'll beat Forest, probably quite easily in that early kickoff. So and for some reason, I just feel like we always do well in the 12:30 kickoff on Saturday at Liverpool. But that's probably because the last few seasons we've generally done well every game. So, so I would still say Mo. I know I've got De Bruyne on my own team as well, but Brighton's a harder fixture than Forest, so I'd still say Salah for that. If something happens, Salah gets injured, we just go Salah to De Bruyne anyway for that.
I've actually figured out what I was going to say earlier, by the way. Who do we think is going to score the most points across the next 2 game weeks? Billing in game week 12 and De Bruyne in game week 13 put together, or Salah in the next 2 games where he has West Ham at home and Forest away? Who's going to get more points across those 2? Is it going to be that Billing De Bruyne combo, or is it going to be Salah?
Yes, two Billing games and 1 De Bruyne game.
No. Just 1 Billing game because we'd have Maddison playing in the next week. So just like,
did you switch back to Maddison?
Yeah, probably, potentially, yeah, potentially.
I still think so. It's basically the same question as before, but then it's Salah versus Billing this game week. So it's definitely Salah for me. Look, this
But
billing
it's just
thing
'cause we wouldn't have Salah in game week 13. That's really the point. We
Yeah,
wouldn't have Salah next week if we.
I
if we
didn't
don't
actually
get in this
expect it to cause this.
No, this is really caused a ruction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna bottle it and say just
next week. Honestly,
Salah.
if we wanted, we could just do billing next week, and just keep.
Well, I prefer his fixture this week at home to local rival Southampton, where I think it'll be quite a good game actually. So I'd rather him this week than next week. I think what we're saying is Salah or Salah and Billing.
I have no idea what we're saying anymore.
I just do not trust Salah. That's all. I just don't trust him. He scored the sort of goal. He went through on goal and scored off a mistake with a Man City high line. No, none of his future opponents are playing a high line like that, and he is not getting through on goal like that. I've watched Liverpool this season, and he's not been a threat.
Yeah, but
when Nunes plays, he is not as good when Nunes plays because Nunes is not in sync with him. Nunes is trying to score goals himself. He's not looking up for Salah. Salah's not the main man.
From 4 goals in 2 games at the beginning of this call.
He came off the bench though against Rangers, but I take it. And he's getting subbed. He's getting subbed off. Got subbed off against Arsenal, subbed off against Man City.
Yeah, in the 90th minute.
Yeah, but no, Adam, you joke. That's important. It's important to have someone on for the whole game, especially against Man City when they're throwing everyone forward in stoppage time. And he should have had a goal on the counter attack.
I think you've lost the plot, Alex. To be honest, now this Salah rant.
Well, outrank me then. Overrule me then. Adam, go with Tristan and overrule me, please.
So I think we've all agreed we're bringing in Philip Bingett.
I'll just put Salah in, Tristan.
Yeah,
I think it's for Salah and make the transfer.
Well, you've said that's what you've done in your own team anyway. So
no, I couldn't.
Adam did. Sorry,
I can't afford the Billing move, unfortunately.
But just to make the point, like we're talking about different Salah to the early stages of the season. Like it's not just a goal against Man City. His general play was like probably. I just think
you're not taking into account the opponent, Tristan. You're an opponent that is not afraid to take the game to Liverpool. West Ham, David Moyes, bus firmly parked. Try and break us down. You know, it's different. You have to take this stuff into account.
We don't have to captain him though, I suppose. You know, okay. If you're have I even done it? Right, let's just do it. Yeah. Okay.
It's done. Oh, that makes me feel better.
All right, so
let's have a look at when Liverpool kick off then, real quickly.
It doesn't make a difference. I know it's like a psychological thing.
But... I'm not captaining Trossard on a Tuesday night. Give it to Salah.
Yeah, these are just fallacies that you should get out of your game. Though these don't mean anything. It's just more painful. That's all it is.
It's
horrible. Quite a pleasing midfield, actually. All the home fixtures.
There's a popular meme on Twitter. You know what it is. Never back the early kickoff.
Yeah, I know the Gandhi thing, but I mean. Plenty of times where it has worked.
Never captain the early kickoff.
There's just not. There's not a Salah's captain. Then Mitrovic. I'll put Trossard vice. Then there we are.
Small mercy. Look at what none of our bench will be playing because Everson still Brendan Rodgers can. Danny Ward has 2 clean sheets in a row now.
I know he's doing it. No, two in 3 years. 2 in 3. But sorry, that's nice for the podcast. I'm pretty sure everyone will play there. I know Johnny has some competition, but he got a clean sheet.
Yeah,
Aurier's injured, so Neco Williams should play.
Excellent news. Best wishes to Serge Aurier. Hopefully, takes as much time as he needs to recover. No rush, and we'll reap the rewards.
Put your feet up, Serge, and then. I mean, Zaha was absolutely terrible against Leicester, but he was really bad. He got hauled off, and maybe it seemed worse than it was because I own him and I was hoping for points, but he just didn't seem involved. But he's one of those players like he can score a random brace.
Mercurial is the word. Frustrating, but mercurial. Yeah, I have Michael Elise in my team, and after a great performance last week for Patrick Vieira to just bench him. I'm quite happy that Palace didn't score.
Okay. Right. So yeah, next. So if Philip Billing scores a brace and Salah blanks, then you can all
Kick you out.
No,
yeah.
crucially, I have brought in Salah, so I'm not saying that this is wrong. I just think it was an interesting alternative. I don't really fancy Madison in FPL teams because it is more often than not quite frustrating, basically.
Yeah, I almost got persuaded really with Madison to mount as a second move, and then benching, I guess, Neko. But I think we've set this team up quite well. We've planned well. I don't think we're getting an advantage over those teams that haven't planned that will need to take hits. So
to
I
put it
think
into perspective in terms of our rank, and there's not between. I had a little gander at our team TSZ page on Friday night when we were on 22 points, and we were around top 60k, I think. Top 60.
that's what I meant. I think we were at that point flying. Obviously, that often
of
happens.
course, it's going to
You best
happen.
not.
They got the majority of our points, but that's what I mean in terms of there's not much of a gap.
Yeah. You just best not check in at live FPL until the end, really, are you? Because it's just
frustrating.
Gives you a false sense of where you are. But yeah, okay, right. I think we're locked in after all that. Good luck to your own teams. I don't really mean that. Good luck to mine. Good luck to mine. Well, I mean, I'm in competition with you.
Yours needs all the luck it can get.
You're not in competition with me. Don't worry.
Well, you never know. You say 86 points. That's a sign of things to come.
The comeback is on. You heard it here first.
Yeah, you need probably another 10 game weeks like that, but it can happen.
It means we're not going to be last in all my leagues, which is fine. I'm fine with that.
You need to go on the kind of run that Team TSZ did in their debut season, when we went from the last 10 game weeks or whatever. We just went to 1k in the world from, I don't know, we were like 500k. It was just every week was gold. But that's pretty unprecedented. So
yeah,
we've never reached those heady heights since.
This season is looking like it could be different. Okay, yeah, that's everything. Enjoy it. Every game on Amazon Prime, so all games can be watched if you can get on Prime. And normally midweeks they go. Rotation's always a worry. They can go either way, but we've had some big hauls in the past on Amazon Prime. Alexander-Arnold away at Leicester, never forget that. Tristan certainly won't.
No. But yeah, Team TSZ sponsored by Amazon Prime, it seems.
Yeah, of course. So
4 mentions
yeah, and it's sponsorships welcome, Amazon. So yeah, good luck everyone, and thanks for listening, and all the best. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, cheers everyone, and my best wishes to Philip Billing this weekend. This week.